Oh my god, green Mega Eagle! Right there folks, what we have here is a really scummy old dentist chair. So I got this from a tattoo parlour. They'd thrown it outside, I don't know, a few months before I got it. I got it, you know, halfway through the summer, and now it's sat outside at my place ever since. Yeah, the reason I was interested in it, come and have a look. It's got a hydraulic power pack there. There's a motor coupled to a hydraulic pump, and we've got a nice manifold there with a bunch of solenoids on it. And up in there somewhere, I expect there'll be some actuators, wouldn't there? I think there's only two. Can't imagine why they'd need more than two. No, maybe there's more. Maybe there's more. No, looking at that, we've got four. No, I don't know actually. I don't know. Yeah, no, I think there's just two. Especially if you only got 4 lines, 2 double-acting hydraulic cylinders. Either way, I was very surprised to see that. You know, it's one of those things that I never really thought about how one of these worked. And as soon as I saw the hydraulics, it piqued my interest, my curiosity. Also, like, you know, it's the sort of thing you don't pass up on, isn't it? A hydraulic system. We could perhaps use it for something one day, but until then, I figured we'd just A, see if I can get it powered up and working, and then B, harvest it for its interesting bits and throw the rest of it outside for the scrap man. Alright, you're up for that? Cool. Oh. It's making a noise. Would you Adam and Eve it? It's a humming noise, like a completely screwed up motor, to be honest. I wonder if it's all seized up. It works! Why would someone throw this out? It's beautiful. I wonder if that's just full of rainwater. The reservoir's not actually got a lid on it in a minute. Wowee! Who would throw this out? So we've got a switch up top. Oh no, that does work. What's that doing? Yeah. That's peculiar. No, I'll show you these switches. Okay, so red one, that's not working. Greeny tilts the upper assembly back. Turquoise one a little bit intermittent, but the backrest goes back and forwards. Then yellow one just seems to let the pressure out the bottom bit. Okay, alright, so there's something going on with that. So which one did nothing? Red one, I suppose. Yeah, we just got a reservoir full of emulsion now, which is a bit scummy. No? No, I wonder if I flash these solenoids. That one definitely works. Oh well, that's kind of cool. Kind of a bit upset. This this stack of switches is half an operative because beautiful old set of switches. I mean, they're not beautiful now, but you know, it's kind of classic 80s, isn't it? I expect that's when this thing was made. Brown was still okay. You hadn't got to the 90s yet, so brown was still okay, but going out of fashion. You know, 70s was the decade of brown stuff, wasn't it? But I don't know, just looking at it, it doesn't look quite old enough to be 1970s. Maybe, I mean, the hardware, you know, to be honest, whilst the hardware looks pretty ancient, we got nylon hydraulic lines, and what? I don't know, it's got more of an 80s feel to it, you know. I think it's 1980s. And it's probably weathered incredibly well, given if it really is that old. No one had the balls to make brown stuff in the 90s anyway, apart from what I remember. Let's tear into it and see what's going on. I don't think there's going to be anything interesting up here, because that's all. You know, we've got the backrest will be actuated through this arm, won't it? That's the backrest one. Go on, work you. Nah, it won't go down now. Oh well, my dentistry business is going to suffer now. Let's take it apart, see what it's got inside.
It's a fleet of aircraft with a range of up to 13,000 kilometres unloaded. Although when fully loaded with up to 120 131 Lockheed C5s.
It's very well made. Look, this is the back of the headrest. It's got to weigh I don't know, half a pound, a few hundred grams, I expect. Is cast aluminium. And it's got, you know, the nuts are actually cast into the alloy. Pretty cool. Pretty heavy duty. Kind of ashamed to rip it apart.
Was initiated, which doubled the total cost of the program. In 19... Yeah, something which was restored and launched from an underground silo. The thinking was that if the Soviets initiated the first strike on the US,
it's so ridiculously heavy.
Would be destroyed before they could
launch.
However, if you could
nuts welded to a steel plate inside there.
They were virtually untraceable compared to a fixed silo site. So, in October 1974, a 39-ton, 17-metre...
Night right here at AT&T Park.
Even the NHL, where players wrap their hockey sticks in rainbow tape.
Well, hi, Lady Capital Arena. We are so excited to be live.
it used to be like you'd take a warning label seriously, you know. I suppose these days everything's got warning labels on it, so you don't even bat an eyelid when you see one. But I suppose on older stuff they actually mean it, don't they? Let's have a look and see what's under here. I don't know. I'm kind of expecting it to have a transformer because it makes sense if all the relays were 12 volt and that. Oh yeah, it's just a transformer. There are a few capacitors in there, aren't there? You know, and capacitors I suppose would be a bit naughty, wouldn't they? They're only little ones though. They're not like the big bastards in the back of old televisions. Nice transformer though. Okay, so we've had a pretty good haul out of all this. We've got a pile of stuff for the scrap man. That's all steel pretty much. Pile of really heavy aluminium castings. You know, I'll keep these for casting into something else. It's a good haul of aluminium here, you know. There's I don't know. It's like back in a few decades ago, it was all about labour cost rather than material cost. It was like that for a very long time. I suppose if you go back a really long time ago, then they were sort of equal, weren't they? Like you know, because material cost represented a huge labour cost in itself. But then, like, you know, the sort of 60s through early 90s, you know, the material was very cheap and it was all about the labour cost. And now we seem to have gone back to how it was a couple of 100 years ago, or you know, 100 years ago, where both seem to be just as valuable, unless you can go to the third world and get your labour significantly cheaper. But basically, what I'm saying is, it's pretty rare to see something built like this these days. You know, it's a beautiful bit of construction, over the top, completely over the top. I don't know. I mean, there's very focused stress points which require such heavy castings. You know, even you know, look at the headrest. Like, this is ridiculous. The amount of material just in the headrest. That's a real chunk there. This is the attachment point. The bed goes on top, and this is the sort of paralleling, the top edge of the parallelogram. So that's the mounting point for the bed tilt. But then the bed paralleled on yeah, those two, I guess. So they're quite close together. Nice bit of ribbing there. Ribbing. Yeah, just the weight of this thing is absolutely ridiculous. So that is about an inch thick of aluminium, you know, in a few places here. Anyway, so that's cool. That's a nice stockpile. Even though it's, you know, work that's gone into these, you know, that's I'm pretty sure it's sand cast, but you know, obviously they need to make cores to make a hollow sand casting like that. This is the armrest. Doesn't really look like an armrest anymore, but yeah, even that's a fairly weighty affair, you know. And then the good bits, I was saving the hoses. Some of them are whole, some of them are hacked in half, but they've all got the ends still, so that's pretty useful. The actuators, or rams, whatever you want to call them, the pump and the motor, and the manifold, and then these are just some, you know, nice bits of steel that I'll use to make something else, I suppose. So yeah, I was a bit perplexed at the start, you know, when I started this video, wondering about there, but I thought I counted, you know, four four solenoids, 4 valves, if you like, per ram, and then there were 2 more, and I didn't really know what they were, but what the setup here is there's on the backrest and bed tilt, the ram is powered in both directions, and even though they've used a double acting ram for the bed height, which is this one, is it? Yeah, that one. They've only really set it up to be single acting and let gravity bring it down. But I suppose it's got fluid on the other side just to act as a bit of damping to stop it just bombf coming straight down really quickly. Also, that means you need a smaller reservoir because you're not completely emptying the reservoir when you pump the bed up. So the fluid goes. There's always an equal amount of fluid well, give or take. There's always equal amount of fluid in a ram if it's double acting. So your reservoir doesn't have to be that big. But if you're single acting, then obviously the amount of fluid in your reservoir varies depending on. It will empty by the volume of the ram, if that makes sense. So yeah, the bed up and down only uses two solenoids. So I'll keep these manifolds because they're quite nice. So what it will do is it'll open when you select up. It'll pressurise the bottom. And you'll have one solenoid open to allow the fluid into the bottom, and the other one to open to allow it to come out of the top. And then when you're coming down, it'll switch round, so you want the fluid going into the top and coming out of the bottom. That's why you need 4 solenoids for each ram if you're double acting, but only 2 if you're single acting. I suppose the top side of the single acting one is this one of these hoses, which isn't a pressure hose. It just goes straight to the bottom of the reservoir, so it can either empty fluid into the reservoir or suck it out to give it that damping effect. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do with these. On another note, I do like I have enjoyed building a couple of motorbikes recently and the bicycle frame, and I am thinking of building a sort of dual purpose small motorbike / bicycle frame building jig, and it would be quite Gucci if I could put some hydraulics on it, but it'd be totally unnecessary, totally unnecessary. But I suppose the thing is it'd be nice to mount it on a big slab of steel, so maybe that'd be an excuse to put some hydraulics into it. I can intentionally overbuild it, so I need hydraulics. Other than that, I've got no real plans for these. If anyone comes up with some good ideas, then let me know. It all still works. I didn't save the switch gear because that was the only side of it that was really a bit screwy. Certainly got enough hose there to make something out of it. Nice few bits of metal that I'll use, and that's it really. I hope I haven't upset any antique barber chair collectors out there. If I have, well, it didn't all go to the scrap man, at least I'm using bits of it. It would have done otherwise, and it was a bit ropey, and I've really enjoyed them. Always nice to see how things are made, isn't it? The ridiculous weight of these castings. What a colossal amount of aluminium there is there. Yeah, I expect they're all steel these days, just probably powder coated nicely. Certainly with hospital beds and that, I've noticed they're all they've dropped. There used to be a lot of chrome on a hospital bed and bits of casting and that, but now they're all steel, but the steel's covered up with plastic mouldings. Anywho's, I just had another interruption and I've completely forgotten what I was rambling on about. I'm gonna try and tidy up and do something less destructive. I hope this was at least entertaining, even if none of you have got any actual interest in vintage barber chairs. Alright, take it easy folks, bye bye.